Greetings YouTube and welcome back to another vlog. Yeah, I don't know what kind of an intro that is, but I will leave it. I've tried attempting this vlog a few times, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. If I make any mistakes along the way, then so be it. You're going to have to put up with it. But yeah, anyway, how are you all doing? I hope everyone is doing great. I sort of like to ask this because, I like seeing how everyone's doing, especially my followers, people who've been with my channel since I started making videos or have just recently subbed. So again, thank you again for all your generosity. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. So anyway, I've got a few stuff to talk about, and originally I wasn't going to do a vlog today. In fact, I originally wasn't going to do a vlog until possibly, I wasn't going to do another vlog until perhaps a few days time, but I thought, you know what, I've got stuff to talk about because, there is a few things to discuss. And listening to me go me random waffles, as you call it. But my first topic is bloody shopping. Yeah, you know what? Do I enjoy going shopping? Absolutely not. It's one of the most stressful things for anyone. I mean, if you happen to enjoy stropping, throwing a strop, well, you can do that if you want, but for those who enjoy shopping, then kudos, I suppose. I don't know how people enjoy shopping when it's one of the most stressful, one of the most frustrating things that you can possibly do. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I mean, today was, oh my god, it was an absolutely frustrating encounter. Very, very frustrating it was. I mean, when I was shopping, most of the foods, though, the dates on majority of them were very short. I mean, I did eventually pick up some stuff. Yeah, especially like food. I mainly do like food shopping, pick up like other essentials. But yeah, I'm not a fan of you look at some nice foods and some nice meals. You know what? I want to be able to make some decent meals. But when stuff has certain dates on them, you have to use it by a certain sell-by date. It's you know what? What can you do about it? You have to think a bit carefully because you don't want to buy stuff and then having to throw it away because, the dates on them are not very good. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that because if that's the case, I mean, as I say, the dates could have been a whole lot worse, but yeah, it could have been a whole lot worse. But yeah, I managed to get some meals. I managed to get bits of food that'll be able to last me throughout the whole week. Because I don't want to buy food which will end up going in the bin. But I know some foods last longer than what the sell-by date actually says. But preferably I prefer to eat food just before those certain dates. Because I know I've opened ham and stuff like that, and then I come back to it a few days later, and it goes straight in the bin because it smells because it's gone off completely. But yeah, because of the way things are going, the cost of living crisis again. I know how many times have we heard that, but yeah, I've been a bit more careful as to what foods and what other products that I need to buy. I mean, financially, I'm alright, but as I say, it's better to be safe than sorry, as a hard-setting take on me. But yeah, looking for food, that wasn't the most frustrating thing. The most frustrating thing about the supermarket are people. Particularly idiots. Yeah, so I know where I encountered one woman who she had a massive trolley, And you know what? You're thinking, oh yeah, if they're gonna buy like the weekly shopping or whatever, buy shopping that'll last them a few weeks, not a problem. Guess what they use the trolley for? Yeah, the big deep one. Oh yeah, only for 2 items. Yeah, something like bread. I mean, and a few other items. I mean, fair enough. I mean, if you're not good on your legs and not very stable, then that's fine. At least it gives you some support. At least it gives you something to like support your body on. But you have those ones who just get a big trolley instead of getting a basket. Yeah, there's plenty of those around. So yeah, yeah. I went Marks and Spencers. Yeah, that's where I went today. Yeah, but yeah, they got like a massive trolley just for 2 small items, which yeah, they could either go in like a small basket, or you could just carry them without any problems. I mean, for goodness sake, I mean, if you're only getting 2 items, and the fact that you know you're getting those specific items, why on earth would you get a big trolley? Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, because as I said, there was plenty of baskets. But yeah, that's that. And then another one, yeah, where they had like, yeah, they had 2 kids that were like messing around. But yeah, I don't. I mean, if you're gonna allow your kids to mess around, then take them to the park or somewhere. Doesn't matter how cold it is. It gives them some exercise. But yeah, some people don't realize that parks actually exist. The only parks they think of are shopping parks. Yeah, yeah. What's the difference between them? I don't know. Yeah, for Christ's sake. There's a humongous difference between like a park that has fields, swings, roundabouts, you name it, to another park like a shopping park that has stuff like Marks and Spencers, Superdrug, or whatever. But yeah, they allowed the kids to mess around. I mean, the parents did tell the kids off for messing around, but guess what? The kids completely ignored the parents. And you know what? If they're like, how old if I say like if they're like 3 or 4 years old or whatever, at that young age, fair enough. But to be fair, the kids were like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were about like 10 years old, and they acted infantile. I mean, if your child is going to, if your child or if your children keep misbehaving, do not take them to a supermarket because it's going to cause a lot of havoc. It's going to cause stress for all the customers, including myself, who just want to go and get their bits. I mean, shopping should not be stressful at all, but here we are. Here we are. And if you're wondering why my eyes are watering, yeah, it's very cold out there today, so I've got a bit of cold in my eyes, and I say it's a bit watering. But yeah, I say, you know I have allergies, but the cold weather, once it gets in my eye, that's it. It just starts watering. I can't do anything about it. I can use as many tissues, and it makes no difference at all. But yeah, I've not long just come back from shopping, but yeah. But yeah, I wasn't going to do a vlog today, but because of what was going on in the supermarket and how stressful it was, I just wanted to show you my experience. I'm sorry. If you got kids, yeah, make sure that they behave. And if they don't, take them out, take them elsewhere. Because at a certain age, they should know how to behave when going to places like supermarkets, libraries, and other public places. I mean, if you want your kids to mess around, for starters, like I say, you could take them to the park or let them or stay at home. It's as simple as that. We don't want people like us don't want to go shopping feeling stressed because of this. But yeah, I know it's just absolutely frustrating. I know, and sometimes, I mean, when you're looking at certain items, yeah, you ask someone to like, excuse me, do you mind moving over just for a second? Like, yeah, most of the time people will move over and say, nah, no problem. And they say, oh, I'm sorry for getting you away. Then you have other people who just look down at you like as if you're some piece of shit. Yeah, some some people pretending that they're posh when really they live in the council estate and have like 3 children. Yeah, so don't pretend to be something that you're not. People can see through you. Yeah, and people think that they can get away through life by blagging. Well, it doesn't work like that anymore because most people who have common sense can see this. So don't try and blag. Don't try and blag your way through life because you will get found out. And if you don't like it, then that's tough shit, isn't it? Yeah. But anyway, another thing that I absolutely detest about supermarkets, I've mentioned this before. I think I talked about this sometime last year on one of my older vlogs where I complained about non-disabled people parking in disabled bays. Yeah, I see it all the time. Yeah, because some people don't want their precious little BMW to be scratched, considering there's about I don't know, there's millions of BMWs here in the UK. You see loads of them on the road. So the fact that you've got a BMW and think that you could do whatever you want, then yeah, you're an absolute buffoon. But as I say, most BMW drivers are not like that. It's just the small minority that like they just tarnish them with the same brush, unfortunately. And it shouldn't be like that because most are alright. It's just as few individuals who've got like a German car and you don't want it scratched, considering there's millions of BMWs on the road here in the UK. Yeah, because they don't want it scratched. It's like as if they think they own the road. They don't. But yeah, I saw one person today. Yeah, they were parked in the disabled bay without a badge, of course. And guess what? I know some person thought they did before they got in the car, and that is one thing this is one thing that absolutely winds me up. I mean, not having a disabled badge is one thing, but the fact that the person spat, yeah, he spat everywhere just before he got in his car, like he had like a massive yeah, no, he spat like a massive load of spit, yeah, everywhere, and I'm like, for goodness sake, if you got spit, either swallow it or if it's a horrible taste, use a tissue or something because none of us want to see people spit in public. It's just absolutely disgusting. I know we're not talking about a person who's like a young person. Oh no, this person looked to be in their 40s and they're thinking, yeah, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, and it's those ones who think they're hard. Where like, yeah, where they have to like walk like that. They think they're hard when really they're not. I mean, the only people who know how to strut, well, the only person, or even though it doesn't exist, but he's in the video game. The only person who knows how to strut is Simon Belmont from Castlevania. He could do it with style, not some random pretend wannabe. Yeah, oh, I'm hard, mate. I'm hard. Look, I pump iron. Yeah. Well, who cares? I know they're pretending to be hard when really they're insecure about something. I don't know. Yeah, they act all hard, and to be honest with you, they come across as like pathetic. Just don't embarrass yourself. Just be a normal person. Just don't be a normal person. But yeah, why? Why do people have to be arrogant? What makes them arrogant? I like to know why some people are just like really cocky and I don't know, egotistical for whatever reason. What does that achieve? Nothing but embarrassment. So yeah, I don't know why people have to pretend to be something that they're clearly not. Drops. I don't know. Someone must have pissed in their cornflakes. Whoever done it, I don't know. But yeah, they just seem to have a chip on their shoulder for whatever reason. Yeah, and they create, some of these people, like, they create problems in their head that don't exist. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I mentioned, some individuals like live in their own. I I don't know, their own like universe, and it's a universe that is separate from our own. I mean, they're probably I don't know. It's like as if they're aliens disguised as human beings, but don't act like human beings. If you know what I'm saying. But yeah, but yeah, that was why it was like going shopping. I know because like I know I hate shopping, but I mean everyone has to do it. It's not fun, especially when it's really cold out there. I had a look on the temperature. It said it's about 5 degrees out there. Though to be honest with you, it felt more like -5. It really did. And yeah, apparently some milder weather is coming. But to be honest with you, I can't really see it making much of a difference because it's still cold, and I can't wait for winter to be over. I prefer spring. I prefer spring and I prefer autumn. I don't like summer because it's too hot. I want something that's like just in the middle where it's not too warm but not too hot at the same time. If you know what I'm saying. But yeah. Yeah, so anyway, in the comments below, what do you think of shopping, and have you had any annoying or frustrating experiences when doing so? Because as I say, shopping, all you just want to do is grab your stuff and go, and then leave it like that. That's what it should be about. But nah, it is what it is. So that's my discussion about it because I don't know. I was in a bit of a foul mood when I came home. I mean, I'm a lot calmer than what I was because, like I said, there were some people on there that you wanted to do like an ultra combo on them, like what they do in Killer Instinct. Yeah, I mean, I've only ever done an ultra combo once or twice with the character Orchid. Yeah, though to be fair, she's probably the best character in the game. I think so anyway. And it's my favourite fighting game on the Super Nintendo. I know a majority of you are going to say, oh, but Street Fighter 2 is the best. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. Doesn't matter if it's World Warrior, Turbo, or Super Street Fighter 2. They're great games. I think they're absolutely fantastic. But I think Killer Instinct eclipses that. I really, really do. I prefer like the combos. I mean, some of the combos are much harder to like master, but they're extremely satisfying when you pull them off. Yeah, really satisfying, and that's what I like. But I know people said, "Oh, do you prefer Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?" I mean, when it comes to fighting games, I do slightly prefer Street Fighter over Mortal Kombat, but that's not to say that Mortal Kombat isn't great, because it is. Well, the earlier Mortal Kombat games, the newer ones, although good, don't have the charm like the older ones do. Like yeah, the ones on the Sega Mega Drive SNES, and yeah, Mortal Kombat Trilogy and Mortal Kombat 4 on the PlayStation 1 are really good. And yeah, but yeah, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I also played that on the mate's Nintendo 64. And I gotta be honest with you, I can't get used to Mortal Kombat with Nintendo 64 controls. I mean, the Nintendo 64 controller for fighting games isn't the greatest, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, with Super Smash Bros. It works well, but any other fighting game on that console, just not for me, I'm sorry. Though, to be fair, I haven't played Killer Instinct Gold, which all Instinct Gold is Killer Instinct 2 that was in the arcade. So, yeah. But yeah, the Nintendo 64, I say a console I've owned twice, and I've enjoyed it. I do like the Nintendo 64, but I gotta be honest with you, the PlayStation's so much better. I'm not speaking on like in terms of nostalgia even, because that's the console I had as a kid. The Nintendo 64, I, as I say, I got my first Nintendo 64 when I was about when I started collecting. Well, not when I started collecting, but when I was like into the collecting stuff, like buying games just for the sake of it. Yeah, which, like I said, that's a big mistake on my behalf. I've learned my lesson since, so I'm only interested in looking at the titles that have the most appeal to me. Yeah, and I keep the games that I still enjoy to this very day. But yeah, as I bought my first Nintendo 64. I think the first one I bought was in 2010 when I collected it. I know I bought I know I bought a Nintendo 64 from I think it was Cash Converters for £20. Yeah, I bought that and I bought quite a few games for it. So yeah, they got me eyes are really watering again. Still a bit of cold in them, but yeah, the first Nintendo 64 I bought cost 20 quid, so like it was worth it. Then unfortunately, yeah, then I got rid of the Nintendo 64 because I got a bit bored of it after a while. Even though, like I say, there were some stellar titles for it, like Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, which is probably my favorite game for it. GoldenEye 007, yeah. It may have aged, but I still think that is a pretty good first-person shooter. And I think it's one of the very best first-person shooters ever made. Probably my second, and I think the only one that beats it, in my opinion, is Halo 2 on the original Xbox. I wouldn't mind getting another Xbox again because I played Halo 2 to hell and back with my brother. Played it through hundreds of times on like the legendary difficulty. Though saying that, I haven't played Halo 2 in about, I don't know, about 12 years, 12, 13 years. So I'd probably get my ass handed to me on the harder difficulties, but yeah. And what else? I don't know. It's just talking about the Xbox. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet because I'm like, I can hear some like, I don't idiot drivers. Yeah, getting it. We get it all the time. People are using like my road like as if it's Silverstone. It's absolutely pissing me off. I mean, can't people just drive normally? Yeah, but yeah, I think it's all settled now. But yeah, we were talking about the Xbox. Yeah, I had a lot of fun memories with that console. In fact, I got my Xbox. I mentioned this before. I got my Xbox before the PlayStation 2, funnily enough. And I got it in 2005. Yeah, it was the same year the 360 came out, but yeah, I didn't get my 360 until 2010. In fact, I got it for my 16th birthday. Yeah, the Xbox 360 Elite. Yeah, it was the older model, the 120 gigabyte. Yeah, that was a great console, and I had a lot of fun with it then. I'm not sure if it's a console that I'd go back to now because I think it was one of those ones I enjoyed more during that time than I do now. But yeah, as I say, the 360 era and PS3 era, they were great. But to be fair, I mean, I mean, I had the PS4, which I gave to my brother. I enjoyed the PS4 for a while, but then I don't know, I just lost interest with it. And as I say, my interest in modern games personally is now at an all-time low. I mean, yeah, I played on the PS5, and as I'm quite impressed with it, but honestly, I'm not sure I'll be buying one just yet. I may get one in the foreseeable future, but good luck getting hold of one because, as I say, not many people have them, and doesn't help that they're expensive. So yeah, but yeah, that's me. I just go back to the older games more. I go back to like the Sega Mega Drive, PlayStation 1, PS2, Super Nintendo. Yeah, the stuff like that really, but yeah, but they're probably my most favorite systems. Yeah, the PlayStation 1's my all-time favourite console, which I've mentioned that a few times, but yeah. But that was the console I enjoyed the most as a kid and still do now. But I enjoyed the PlayStation 1 a lot more nowadays. I mean, I loved the PS1 as a kid, but now I love it even more. But my reasons for loving the PlayStation 1 are different to the ones I had when I was a kid. Yeah, because I separate nostalgia to the games I like. Because yeah, there were some games I looked upon very fondly, and then when I went back to playing them a few years ago, I realised that yeah, I certainly had my rose tinted glasses on because there are a few games that I played not that long ago and I thought, oh my god, that is absolute crap. Yeah, one of my favourite games on the PlayStation 1 when I was a kid. A movie-based game as well, yeah. Yeah, it was Pixar's A Bug's Life. Yeah, I remember thinking that was a really good game. I really did. Even though critics, as I say, critics at the time were less positive about it, and yeah, it's very easy to see why. The camera angles are just horrific, like really bad. Yeah, I mean, I know the camera angles in Tomb Raider, especially the first one, yeah, can be a little bit iffy at times. But A Bug's Life, dear me, the camera just makes the game borderline unplayable. It really does. Graphically, it hasn't aged well at all. Like at all well. There are some games that came out before the game on the PlayStation 1 that have much better looking graphics. So yeah, A Bug's Life. A Bug's Life was released in 1998, though it did come out here in the UK until early '99. So yeah, I used to think it was a really good game, but at best, I'd say the game is pretty subpar. But yeah, I know some people still like the game, but I wonder if they genuinely like the game now or are just blinded by like the rose tinted goggles. Because as I say, in my opinion, even though it's good having nostalgic memories about things, sometimes you've got to separate them and realize that those times are times. I mean, you got to realize that that was then and not now. Yeah, because I know as an ABC song, yeah, a certain ABC song says that was then, but this is now. Yeah, I think that was ABC. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. Yeah, it's the same band who did the Look of Love and Shoot That Poison Arrow, which I'm sure most of you already know those songs. But yeah, don't know that. But yeah, you have to separate nostalgia, put that aside, and concentrate on the games that you think are genuinely, and I mean genuinely good, and actually have have merits that still hold up. Like I say, there's no point keeping the game that you don't like nowadays, but keep it for nostalgia's sake. Yeah, do not let nostalgia warp your perception. Do not let nostalgia blind your thought process. Because I've seen it many times where people say, oh yeah, I loved this game as a kid. Yeah, but do you like it now? Look at it now. Have a look at it in 2023. Think carefully and then decide whether or not you still think the game is good. Because, like I say, if you don't like the game now, why keep it? Why keep something that you don't like now just because you liked it as a kid? But yeah, I understand. I mean, some games to some people are probably guilty pleasures and that. They still find some enjoyment in them. Bug's Life, fair enough. If you still like that game, I haven't got any complaints or anything like that. But yeah, I know I bought a Commodore 64. And yeah, although some of the games were rubbish, like as I mentioned before, sometimes it's well worth it just for the soundtrack alone, but especially when it's coming from original hardware. But yeah, game music coming out of original hardware sounds a hell of a lot better than what it does emulated. I mean, yeah, you can mess about with emulators to try and make them sound like they come from an actual console, but it just, like I say, it just isn't the same. Like emulators for the Sega Mega Drive, oh yeah, there's a humongous difference. If you have a Model 1 Mega Drive, it's obviously, the sound quality is going to sound much better. So, yeah, but if not, but yeah, I'm a person who I like good, crystal, crisp sound. But yeah, if you, I say, if you're not really bothered about sound and just interested in the game, then emulators probably a way to go. But as I say, I'm one of these people who prefer to own the original hardware, if possible, because I know there's some systems that I can't even afford. And even if I could, I couldn't fathom spending the amount of money on certain systems, because I'd rather spend money on essentials like shopping, which I just brought up. But yeah, it's good to see what happens when it's good to I try to think. I lost track of what I was going to say. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say anyway. But still, I wouldn't spend extra money on a console that just seems too expensive, and you don't want to shell out too much just in case when you buy that console it just doesn't work, and then you'd be absolutely disappointed, like thinking, "Oh no, wasted my money." Even though if you buy it on eBay, depending on what the sellers are like, you can usually get a full refund if you're not happy. But I mean, there are some who will just refuse to do that and will call you a liar, even if you provide them with all the evidence. So, but that's that. So, of course, what else shall we talk about? I don't know, I think we'll probably just talk a little bit about the football. I'll just talk about my team, Liverpool. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless Manchester United and Newcastle drop silly points, which in my honest mind is very doubtful, unless they drop points, which again seems unlikely, Liverpool, in my opinion, will not finish in the top four at all. And quite frankly, we don't deserve it. We don't deserve to be in the top four based on the way we've been playing. You can sometimes say, "Oh yeah, we need midfielders and all that lot." Yeah, but you can't keep using that as your only answer, because there's more problems. There's more problems that we don't know. There's stuff that's probably happening behind the scenes. So you can't just say, "Oh, we need that." But as I say, Liverpool need a good kick up the arse. And although we did beat Wolves in the FA Cup, though in the replay, the Molineux, we just haven't been playing well at all. In fact, yeah, we haven't won our last 3 games in the Premier League. Yeah, we were held to a 0-0 draw against Chelsea at Anfield yesterday. A game that we were very lucky to actually not lose. We really were. That new signing that Chelsea got from Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine, yeah, that Mudryk, yeah, he caused us so many problems in the second half, and probably should have scored himself. But yeah, a draw for Liverpool and for Chelsea isn't really good either way. So yeah. So a win would have been great for one team, not so great for the other. But yeah, it's a messy situation with Liverpool, and based on our current form, I'd say our best finish is fifth place. I'll be honest with you. I'm being serious. I don't think Liverpool will finish in the top 4 now. I'd like to be proven wrong, but I don't know. Newcastle United, Manchester United, they've been absolutely outstanding. And yeah, hopefully Arsenal win the league. Hopefully Arsenal win the league. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Arsenal, but you know what? It'd make a nice change from just being Man City. And if they beat Man United at 4:30, but then again, by the time I've uploaded this, the game might have already finished. But as I say, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how quickly the upload will be onto YouTube because I think, as I say, sometimes it takes ages, and I have to render the video and render this vlog and hope that the computer doesn't crash whilst I'm doing it, because it has happened to me a few times, and to say it disappoints me is putting it politely, because I'm like, oh dear, with a few expletives and thrown into the mix, because you like to do that. Yeah, but yeah, Liverpool failed to beat Chelsea, but to be fair, I wasn't expecting us to win. I mean, I'm quite happy with the draw. A win would have been better, but on our overall performance, a draw was probably the best outcome for us. And Chelsea probably feel a little bit hard done, because they probably should have beaten us. They didn't, but yeah. No, on Thursday, I think it was Thursday, yeah, Tottenham Hotspur, yeah, they bottled a 2-0 lead against Manchester City. And yeah, City came back and won 4-2. And you know what? I knew a comeback would happen. It's not because of Manchester City, yeah, they were not even playing the best. The reason why they came back was because Tottenham once again bottled it. And Antonio Conte doesn't think that Spurs will finish in the top 4. I don't think they will either. But it's a matter of who finishes 5th or 6th. It's going to be between Liverpool and Tottenham. But yeah, it hasn't been a very good season for both clubs, if I'm being honest. But yeah, but for the neutrals, like those who don't support Liverpool and Spurs, I know there's a few people who support Manchester United, and they're very happy about this. I don't blame them. They're doing really well under Erik ten Hag. And as much as I dislike United, I've said that so many times. I want Ten Hag to do well. He's a nice manager. He's nice, but he's strict as well. And yeah, he wants results. He wants results, and they're getting them. But the question is, can United continue the winning run against? Well, the winning run, against Arsenal this afternoon. I mean, most people have put Arsenal down to win. Preferably, I would like Arsenal to win, but anything could happen. Because if Arsenal beat United, they go 8 points clear of Man City. I mean, if City had lost to Spurs, depending on how it goes, Arsenal could have been 11 points clear. And as I say, that is title winning form. Whether Arsenal go on to win the title is another matter. I hope they do, because they thoroughly deserved it. Yeah, but Gary Neville, Gary Neville, once again, is blinded by his bias. He said that Arsenal won't win the league. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's between Arsenal and City, yeah, fair enough. But guess what? He said Arsenal won't win the league. But he didn't say City will win the league either. Because guess what? Gary Neville, on his high horse, thinks that Manchester United will win the league this season. No, they will not win the league this season. No, they will not. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're doing very well this season. In fact, they're doing really well actually, but I don't think they're quite ready to stop City and Arsenal from getting to title. I mean, unless Man City drop points, which I don't think they'll drop very many from now until the end of the season. Yeah, I can't see Arsenal. I know because Neville is still stuck in the past where he thinks that Manchester United and Arsenal. He still thinks it's the year of 1999. It's not 1999 anymore. It's not the treble winning season. Move on with the times. It's good to reminisce, but move on with the times. That was the past. The only way you can go is forward. You can't go backwards. Time machines don't exist. It would be great if they did, but you gotta face reality. Time machines do not exist. So there you go. I know, and the reason why he's saying that is because he will not. He knows deep down. He knows Arsenal are doing much better than United. He won't admit it because he hates Arsenal. I mean, hating Arsenal because you're a Manchester United fan. That's normal. You'd expect that because, like, in the late 90s and early 2000s, Arsenal and United were phenomenal. They were really good. I mean, teams like Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Leeds were there. They were there. United and Arsenal were like that. So it's like two different. As I said, they were just like. I mean, all the other teams were very good, but Arsenal and United back in those days were like they were elite here, absolutely, and quite possibly. At the time, they were one of the most frightening teams to play against, if not the most frightening teams, as I've experienced it many times throughout my years of supporting Liverpool. Even though I dislike United and I'm not particularly keen on Arsenal, but back in the day, it was a fierce rivalry, and watching those games, if you watch it as a neutral, they always provided drama and entertainment. But I feel as if that drama just isn't there anymore. Like, quite frankly, the drama hasn't been there since Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira left their clubs. Yeah, because both of them, well, Keane was captain of United and Vieira Arsenal. But yeah, as soon as they left, it just wasn't the same. Yeah, they had a few moments like the Champions League semi-final in 2009 where Cristiano Ronaldo scored from about 40 yards. But yeah, he scored from like a really long distance, and like he lobbed. Who was the goalkeeper at the time? Was it what was his name though? I can see him. Was it Almunia or what was the other one that used to play for Arsenal? I think it was Almunia, but yeah, I can't think. But yeah, it was in the semi-final, great game. And he had a few moments where, like, when Robin van Persie left Arsenal to join United. But yeah, the rivalry, like what they have nowadays, is not the same as the rivalry that they had back then. That rivalry now is pretty much gone. They will try and recreate it to the best ability, but it won't even come close. It's like it's kind of like trying to remake a film. It's like trying to do a remake of. It's like doing a remake of The Italian Job with Michael Caine to the remake of The Italian Job that shouldn't exist, the one with Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I know. I mean, being a massive fan of The Italian Job. Yeah, the original film is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, I wanted to give the remake the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be as good as the original, but dear God, it was over the top and everything. I'm like, nah, that's not what The Italian Job was all about. Yeah, what made the original great was pretty much non-existent in the remake. And yeah. But yeah, that's why it's like with Arsenal and Manchester United nowadays. They're trying to recreate the past, but it's not happening. It's not happening. So yeah. I mean, other results like Everton losing 2-0 away to West Ham United. To be fair, I expected that based on the way Everton's been. Yeah, Lampard isn't good enough to manage Everton. and the owners are not good enough to run the club. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, and yeah, they're gonna have a really really difficult season. Yeah, they could possibly go down, and it's if they do, it'd be the first time since sometime in the 1950s. But yeah, the 1950s. But yeah, Everton just about stayed up last season. I don't know if they will stay up this time round. I'm not sure. If they do, it'll be by the very skin of their teeth. Yeah, yeah, because yeah, I know where Jared Bowen scored 2 goals, both the goals for West Ham, and yeah, he scored both the goals whilst his wife is about to give birth to twins, and so congrats, so congrats to Jared and his wife, if when they do give birth to twins, because like I say, it's due soon. What other games were there? There was a one Aston Villa beat Southampton 1-0 away, but that game had problems, and it wasn't anything to do with the football. If anything, the football was the last problem. The biggest problem that they had was like there was a drone. Yeah, a drone kept flying above the stadium. In fact, the drone flew above it twice, and they had to like pause the game for quite a few minutes until the drone went away. But as I say, it's not the first time a drone has like interrupted a game of football. Yeah, and I hope whoever gets the football, I hope they kick the ball as hard as they fucking can into the sky and knock the drone down. I don't care how much that person paid for the drone, but they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to deal with the consequences. They're gonna have to deal with it. All people want to do is just enjoy a good game, not let it get interrupted by some annoying inconvenience. And quite frankly, I don't know how some people even have a license for a drone. If you've got a license for a drone, know where to fly the drone, first of all. Know where to fly it. And figure out what places you can fly them above and what places you can't. I mean, you don't do that. Because like you're interrupting the match. But yeah, I know there's some other football results like Newcastle drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. A point that Newcastle probably thought that. Yeah, that's 2 points dropped. They probably a game that based on their current form, you'd expect them to win that. They didn't, but a draw for Crystal Palace is good. Though to be fair, they still haven't won a game in the league for quite some time. Yeah, there's some other results, but I honestly forgot. And to be fair, I'll be here all day talking about that. So yeah. Anyway, I think I will call this vlog an end. So anyway, I hope everyone has a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.